Cowboys and Coffee podcast is back another time here. I'm Paul here. D, glad you're back. Bill, what's up?
Yes.
What's going on? You feeling good? You feeling good now?
40 to nothing is not enough. You know that, right? 40 to zero is not enough. That's the point of this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we haven't started, but we've started. We're going
Yeah.
to start with a breakdown of the Cowboys beating the Giants, dropping a 40 burger on them, and giving them a donut 40 to nothing. A beautiful victory. And listen, I told you before the game, the Giants, specifically Giants media, has been talking all preseason about how Giants close the talent gap, about how the Giants are good enough to beat the Cowboys. They got the brakes beaten off them in the first game. What's your first impression of Giants and more specifically the Cowboys?
Well, you've seen and listened to Micah Parsons telling you they competed against each other the preseason. So when you compete with each other, you get better. And they came in and Giants happen to be competition. And that's what you do to competition. You destroy it. That's what they did.
Right. So
Mhm.
Cowboys, I mean, obviously every aspect. Defense gets a pick six. The special teams gets a block kick for a field goal, a block field goal return for a touchdown. The offense gets three scores. And it's not just that they won and not even really how they won as a team. Some of the smaller things last season, Cavante Turpin got four touches on the offense all year. Four. He got five in this game alone. Five, including a touchdown run.
And scored a touchdown at the goal line. You see some things game one that is completely different. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
mean, it's incredible. Dak was 13 to 24, 143 yards with four drops, right? I mean, four drops, and they're still the sixth most efficient offense in the NFL. Listen, if those four drops are catches, he has a
Right.
71% completion percentage, and we're not talking about this. And he did everything he could be asked to do.
Right. And I think one of them was a touchdown too.
Yeah, well, Cowboys showed they were just by far the better team. The Giants are not in their class. They don't have a shot against these guys. And we've been talking all year about, oh, well, this team needs to come out and show that the Giants are fighting to show that they're in the big boy tier. Cowboys are coming out to show that they're a Super Bowl contender from the beginning. Now, week one can be a bit of a temptress, right? We can get caught up in week one and week two. Patriots, how many times 1 or 2 weeks and we're like, they're dead. And then they win four more Super Bowls.
Right. Patriots was shut out some years ago by Buffalo,
Right. And
35 to nothing.
that's
Yeah.
right when, if I recall correctly, was it Lawyer Malloy who had just gone over there and they were
Yeah.
upset that they let him go over there and the Bills
Right.
beat the snot out of him. The Patriots won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of things that Cowboys showed week one that give you a really good feeling going forward. Listen, last year they sacked Daniel Jones 8 times across 2 games. One game this year they sacked him 7 times, 5 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. I mean, what else could you want? A lot of it's, we rip on Daniel Jones because he's not a $40 million quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but man, when that offensive line is getting cooked left and right, Evan Neal is a sieve at right tackle. It's scary to think, you know, he's not acceptable at right tackle for them. He really is not doing a good job.
Well, no, he's not. Yeah, and he has not gotten better from last year. Their right guard is worse than him. That right side, and you're going to be playing against the Eagles. Are going to come up strong up in the front four, and then you're going to continue to have Daniel Jones running for his life. I don't like that style of offense. But I told you what the pressure. Who's the pressure on? They got into the playoffs last year.
You
They
know,
won a game. Guess what? Coming in this year, we're gonna see how good you are now. You got
I
it.
wrote. Go
They got
ahead.
to play. He's 1-1 in the playoffs. Okay, and guess what? We reviewed the teams who got better. Don't give me college players yet.
Right. And the Giants
Hyatt
went
was nowhere to be found.
correct. In fact, the only place he was found was a drop across the middle that was thrown behind, but still hit both of his hands and he dropped it. Now, Darren Waller, who played injured because he's always injured, Trey Hawkins, rookie cornerback. Listen, this a couple years ago, the Bears traded up with the Giants to get Justin Fields. Bears get Justin Fields. The Giants get Kadarius Toney, who they then flipped for a third and a sixth. So in the third round, they took Darren Waller, who has yet to show you that he can be great. They're definitely going to focus on it, but the guys like Marquise Bell and Jaron Curse shut him down. Trey Hawkins, their sixth-round pick, is a rookie starter, who, God bless, they're lucky that it was a torrential downpour. The Cowboys weren't throwing the ball. Evan Neal, who stinks. Aaron Robinson, what has he shown you? And Daniel Bellinger is a fourth-round tight end. That's what they got out of that trade. You know, that we always praise Joe Shane because he's done an excellent job. And compared to Dave Gettleman, the guy might be
Yes.
the GM in the history of the world compared to Dave
Of
Gettleman.
course.
But some of these picks that we're touting, there a lot of Giants media is saying, "Oh, they've got it, they've got it." When the reality is, the Cowboys on the other side of the ball, they've been hitting picks left and right. They've been getting undrafted free agents and trading for pro players. Look, Dante Fowler getting after the guys. Wanye Thomas with the block. Jonathan Hankins that brought in. Damone Clark, who played well. Jaron Curse. And listen, everyone's like, oh, well, Jaron Curse is good. Jaron Hurst and Malik Hooker were cast-offs.
Right, they were.
They were moved on, and look what they're doing. Deron Bland, they picked him up. Like, these are draft.
He got an interception touchdown already returned.
These guys get it. They're the Cowboys. We always come down to who are they keeping, who are they cutting. That front office, again, ever since Garrett has moved on and since Mike McCarthy has moved in, they seem to know what they're doing.
Bubba, since he left, it's night and day. Remember, I told you day one, something happened in the draft room. That black cloud left or something left. All of a sudden, boom, night and day.
And they've made smart moves since. Moving on from Zeke, as much as we hated it as in a personal level, it's the right move. Rico Dowdle, I really liked the pop he was running with the other night. So Cavante Turpin, you have him, moving him, getting the ball in motion. He scores a touchdown on the run at the goal line. That's the guy you have at the goal line. They're using speed to beat these guys, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, let's find out now. You had the freshmen playing the varsity. Okay. Now you got coming in, you got a varsity coming in with that defense. They're going to have issues with their own quarterback. Our offense has to play better.
Absolutely. The offense didn't have to put up as much as they did last week. I mean, they still scored 3 touchdowns offensively. Pollard still looked good. Dak, I thought, a little rusty, but really not a bad game. Again, the 6th best efficiency in the NFL last year.
With 3 drops.
With 4 drops, and the last 2 drives, they were basically like, that's it. The game was over. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to keep the pedal to the metal when you're up 40-0 in a torrential downpour, but that's what they did. And one quick side note. Last year, Kayvon Thibodeau, in every single game he played, recorded a pressure on the quarterback. Tyron Smith held him the first ever game he's played without a pressure. He didn't even sniff. He didn't sniff it. When Tyron is healthy, he's a Hall of Famer. He plays excellent football. It's good to see him back healthy. That offensive line dominated up front. Chuma Edoga did an excellent job filling in left guard. Biotis did a good job. I think one time Dexter Lawrence got up the middle and made things difficult. But
and he's all pro.
Right. He's not.
He's all pro. He's an all pro player. Yeah.
Zach Martin. Leonard Williams. Did they mention it? They mentioned him once down at the goal line as the Cowboys about to run the ball in for a score. Zach Martin, very silent. Very silent. I also want to bring up other thing. Cincinnati Bengals this last week, they're Myles Garrett literally playing games with them on the front line and getting sacks. Their offensive line is bad. That's generous. Bad. What's happened now is they just released Lyle Collins,
They did. That was
and
true.
he's on pup. He can't play for a few more weeks. Terrence Steele has turned into the guy that we thought Lyle Collins would be.
That's right.
A lot of people who preach doom and gloom, us maybe included, when they let Lyle Collins go and said we're going to go with Terrence Steele. Well, he's shown that he's legit, and he is everything that we thought Lyle Collins would be a right tackle. I feel bad for Collins, but with injuries and maybe he's got a little lazy after signing a big contract and guaranteed.
Did I call that?
You did.
Yeah, thank you.
You did. Who's your most impressive player from the Cowboys' victory this week?
It's got to be 14. It's got to be 14. He wanted to play linebacker.
Yeah, Marquise Bell's an excellent job.
Bell went in there, and I went over and saw the 22 on in the tape. He went in like he played linebacker for years.
He's excellent.
And he wrapped. He wrapped and got and tackled. He's 6'4", right? I think he's 6'4".
6'3".
Yeah.
He's excellent. He ran a 4.41 at the 40.
Oh, man, he played great. I mean, that's it.
But the scheme, he fits very well. There's a toss to the right that he just blew up in the backfield.
Oh, it blew up.
The Cowboys defense.
The one that Daniel Jones running to the right. Stupid.
That's right. And
stupid call, by the way.
It was a stupid call. It was an awful call because he was already getting beat up in the rain.
You're giving it, yeah.
The reality is, it looked like the Cowboys were calling that play, not the Giants. Looks like the Cowboys had everything that they were supposed to do. The Giants didn't look like they had a clue at all. I mean, it was really embarrassing. Saquon, ends the day, 12 carries, 51 yards. We had that was an 18-yard run in the third quarter. The game's already over. So, 11 for 33. You could have it. You could have that all day in the first half. It's over. Cowboys have been swallowing him up. I liked that they had Van Der Esch on the blitz a lot more this time. They came after and they overwhelmed that Giants offensive line. Go ahead.
Well, let me just say, repeat again. Coming into the game, they were wolfing it. Everybody said they're coming in. They're better. They're going to compete with the Cowboys. They're going to compete. They could even beat the Cowboys. They're going to compete. Nothing. Big fat zero. Nothing. And the thing is with this is a reflection on the coaching staff. The coaching staff has to look at themselves and go, "Oh, this is not a good one." There's times you can beat. Okay, it's going to happen. You're going to lose by 3 touchdowns, 30-14, stuff like that. There was nothing to look at. Nothing.
Yeah, this was definitely, to me, the worst coaching job of Brian Daboll's career.
And the place kicker, I got him fantasy. He missed.
Yeah, Graham Gano.
The coach, the kicker. Gano.
He doesn't just miss. He kicked it so far to the left, you could have moved the whole goalpost left, and he probably still would have missed it. I mean, it was a shank. Now, Brandon Aubrey missed an extra point, but this is his first time kicking NFL. He never played football in college. He was a soccer guy, went to the USFL, and Bones Fossil was talking about it, and it's something he's improved. He improved on it. He hit every other one, and they were almost all right down the middle.
Yes.
I think they found a guy they can work with, and Bones Fossil is one of the best special team coaches in the
genius.
NFL.
Oh, genius.
So obviously, as you can tell from the blocked kick, it's a breath of fresh air for how many years were the Cowboys saying, when are we going to break one? When are we going to break one? Now I feel like on special teams, there's always a chance, especially with Turpin returning and the defense can block punts or kicks. They could always break one. They could always do it.
Let me tell you something real funny. This is what the guy they got from the Dolphins.
Noah
in that trade.
Yeah.
He said the Lord's going to give him a new start. And he kept talking about Jesus, alive in his life and stuff. And how about getting a touchdown? And he was praising the Lord. you know how happy that is, huh? New start and another team, boom, boom, boom. You're running up the sideline. Touchdown.
I want to know how much money you made if you bet Noah Igbenogany for the first touchdown for the Cowboys of the year. Yeah. I mean, we're talking That's the type of pro scouting the Cowboys are doing now. Kevin Joseph, a new start I think was needed for him and for Igbenogany, and they make the switch a straight up trade, but you don't really see a lot in the NFL. And I think it definitely worked out for the Cowboys week 1. I'll take it if he's going to come in and play special teams like that. That's fine by me. And you have Jordan Lewis back this week, so he doesn't need to get a lot of reps on the field. But if he's going to be a key special teamer, him out there with CJ Goodwin and the rest of the guys, whew, that's a good pickup.
Well, I was watching YouTube, and one of the guys were talking about the defensive line coach Floyd has put a little. He's tweaked a little bit with that offensive line, defensive line, getting after the quarterback in the lanes and stuff. So he's done a nice job already.
He has.
It's a long season, and I something. This hype with everything. They're not in the Super Bowl. It's game 1. They're not in the Super Bowl. They're not the best defense in the league because it's only game 1. Okay. It's game 1. Game 1.
And you don't have to, you can't win the Super Bowl game 1, though if you're Josh Allen, you can certainly try.
Yeah.
That guy plays like he's trying to win the Super Bowl in every single play. But the Cowboys, I've seen improvement so far. Jonathan Hankins is playing better in this system. Osa has 2 sacks and played tremendously well. Tank Lawrence was destroying that side of the line. I mean, Chauncey Golston, they had 3 of the top 10 D lineman pass rush win rates, and also for defensive tackles. You'll see Micah has elevated his game even more. Now he's enveloping, he's taking on the double teams, pushing them out of the way, allowing other players to come in and make plays.
Unbelievable, yeah.
That's huge. That's huge to me. So, and you know what I liked the other day?
So I want you to know that
go ahead.
Lawrence, he misses a lot of sacks for some reason. I don't know why he misses quarterbacks. I don't know. He doesn't create the angle. There's 2 more sacks he should have had and missed the quarterbacks, and he does it a lot.
Listen, he has incredible talent. That's what separates guys that are great in Hall of Fame level from good and Hall of Very Good level. Like, we love Tank Lawrence. He's just not a big sack guy, but he's a big pressures guy. He's a double-digit sack guy. He's just an inch or 2 away. How many times it could be another?
Yeah, inch or 2. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it's really tough to pull any bad out of the Cowboys. Even you want to see that first drive of the second half when they get the ball, they're up 26-0. You don't want to see a 3-and-out. I feel like under the Jason Garrett era, it would have been run, pass, and we would have got nothing. It's a 3-and-out. They get the ball or at least get some momentum or make it a game. Cowboys come out, march on the field, they score a touchdown. It's over. Like it was over at 23-0, whatever it was. It was over after that touchdown. It was over at 26-0. It was definitely over at 33-0. That was the score there. That's what I like to see from this offense, this team.
Well, McCarthy is calling the plays now. He's a ton of experience doing that over the years. Let's face it. He knows what he's doing. But the tone was set. The tone is set that they came out the second half, no 3-and-out. And and I know, if we were watching that game, we saw 3-and-out, we'd be pissed.
Yep.
3-and-out would make you sick. Even up 26-0, you'd be like, come on. And guess what? Touchdown. Yeah.
And I thought it was a great balance. It was 30 runs to 25 passes. But I don't think
what we like.
And I don't think they forced either way. They ran the ball when they were up to bury these guys, to grind on them. You have an excellent right side of the line, and the left side played phenomenal as well. You should be wearing these guys out. Keep hitting them, keep hitting them, keep hitting them. Look at Kellen Moore. I don't think he's doing that. And look at the end of the game with Kellen Moore calling the plays for the Chargers. Guess what? It was a dud the last series when the Chargers had the ball and a chance to win, reminiscent of how many times with the Cowboys and Dak has a chance to win, and these horrible 7-yard hitches on 3rd and 8 that just don't do it. 4th and 8, you'll run a 5-yard out and throw the ball. It's stupid. It's a different day here in Dallas. It's a different day in Dallas.
Absolutely.
Any more final notes before we move on from the Giants and on to the other team in New York?
Well, listen, you listen to Parsons, and he brought back one of the names that you've heard out of my mouth for years, Doomsday. That's what they're building on. That's what they're building on. Now, I'm not telling you it's the best defense ever, but I'm saying what they want, they're building a doomsday defense. And
That's
he
the goal.
uses that Dallas doomsday as a motivator.
Correct.
Motivator.
That's the goal.
Yeah. He didn't say that's it. We won one game. We're doomsday. That's it. He said that's what they're he mentioned it. Don't get me wrong, but that's what's motivating them.
Correct. Now we're moving on to this week. The Cowboys play the Jets. As everyone knows, Aaron Rodgers torn Achilles. He's out for the year. Right now, they're going with Zach Wilson, and it's unlikely they'll, at this point, be able to bring a quarterback who will be up to speed enough to start on their own this week. So the question is, what's your expectation for the Cowboys versus Jets this week?
Who's the Jets' backup?
You and me?
Yeah, that's
Oh, it's Tim Coyle.
who? Yeah.
Hold on. Oh my gosh. Who?
Yeah, because White is gone, right? I don't know where he went.
Yeah, they don't have anyone technically on the roster.
No.
Jets practice squad. Yeah, I don't know. They don't have anyone. They don't have. It is Tim Boyle, excuse me, who was formerly with the Packers, and now he's backing up. So Tim Boyle will be their backup. There's no hope. It's only Zach Wilson going forward. And let me tell you, he came into that game and threw an interception right into Matt Milano's hands, as if Matt Milano and he were the only two people on the entire field.
It was like playing catch in the backyard. You called this 2 years ago about Taylor, right? Taylor's last name, Taylor.
Zach Wilson.
Listen, Wilson, I want Taylor. Wilson, the Cowboys have played smart, ball control, know when to take the shot downfield. You have to outsmart these guys because they can't move the football. We can.
Correct.
See, they're not going to be able to move the football. They can't move the football. He can't even move a football on an average defense. Never mind this guy coming on. Let Wilson make the mistakes.
Right. So
you can afford to play conservative. Yeah.
This week,
without keeping them in the game. That's all.
Yeah, the Jets scored 3 points of their own when it wasn't off of a turnover or the punt return that won the game. 3 points. That's what Zach Wilson got them. And that's the type of game you have to play. You don't make mistakes. You keep mistake-free football. Now, honestly, that's any game, right? But if you're not turning the ball over to them, they have a very difficult time. There's no reason to go for it on 4th down at midfield against these guys. Pin them deep. Let them try and march down the field against your.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Right.
Because they don't scare me. Garrett Wilson's going to be running against.
Right. Don't do that. That drives me crazy. That stuff. That's another trend in the NFL. The 4th down stuff at midfield. I don't. That's a dumb. How many times I've been screaming at the television when every team, they all do it now.
And the thing is, you don't have to do it with this defense because they're going to take care of business. They're like, why put them in a position where they can give up 20 yards and then a field goal? How about pin them back and say, okay, you'll get 20 yards and you're going to punt right back to us. And we have Kavontae Turpin, who in our special teams unit, who's going to flip the field again for us. Like, they're at an advantage when they play these guys. The Jets do have an excellent defense. They don't get a ton off the edge, but they seem to play you straight up enough. Now, if Quinn Williams lines up over Zach Martin, that don't scare me at all. I'll take Zach Martin against the field any day. Doesn't matter who he plays. Mm-hmm. If he lines up on the left side, if Tyler Smith is back, there's still work to be done. But, the Cowboys should still be able to run on this. They should be able to run on anybody, but they should be able to run and they'll be able to pass. I'm not saying they're putting up 40 points again. They should be able to score enough to beat the Jets, and I think beat the Jets handily because I don't think Zach Wilson, WFAN may disagree with me, but I don't think Zach Wilson's the guy to do it.
No, I don't think he's the guy. Aaron Rodgers can be in his head. Listen, you're going to that's their problem, but nah, he don't show me anything at all. Yeah, he runs around, throws crazy stuff. Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
going to be dangerous against the Cowboys defense, who knows how to pick the ball off and has ball hawks in the secondary. I
Right.
would not be surprised if Zach Wilson has 3 interceptions this game because, Daniel Jones did it. He rolled out right. Stephon Gilmore gets his first pick in the first game because that's what they do. These guys know how to intercept the ball. They know how to
Yeah.
play receivers in
Mhm.
space when the play breaks down. What does Zach Wilson do against Dan Quinn's stunts up front? And if he starts to turn too quickly because the Cowboys get after him a couple times, it could get ugly fast for the Jets.
Well, here's the thing that I'm going to put out there. They may just keep him in the pocket and contain and worry about containment. But the outcome of it all is they're playing in Dallas. Dallas is home field. Okay. And he's in an away game. It's a away game. It's not a home game that he just came from.
Yeah, and you know, Brees Hall, Brees Hall shown he had an excellent game in his touches. Dalvin Cook is still tough, but their offensive line is not that good, and the Cowboys should prevent them from running the ball because they're superior. Jonathan Hankins, excellent against the run. Mazi played decent against the run. He was better than he was in the preseason. I think he's getting more comfortable in the
Yeah.
scheme. There's still growth to come, but again, that's standard for a nose tackle, D tackle in that scheme. He's not everything's going to be right now, but he played better. And you can't let these guys run the ball on you. You have to, much like you did against the Giants, pound them physically, stuff the run, make them earn it through the air. Because I don't think they have the
Yeah.
weapons to do it.
Because this offensive line it's not better than the Giants. It's actually
Oh,
worse.
correct.
It's worse. That right tackle is not going to sleep come Saturday night.
Yeah, I
He's not
worry
sleeping. I'm telling you, he's not going to get a minute of sleep
is
Saturday night.
What's Mekhi Becton going to do when he sees Michael Parsons lining up against him and it's 3rd and long? Mekhi Becton's a big, strong dude. He is not a fast dude. So
Right.
I worry what he's gonna do when Michael Parsons is speed rushing him on 3rd down, or the Cowboys
Mhm.
run a stunt with Tank going out at him and Parsons coming up through the middle, which Micah has shown to be just the most incredible athlete. Because when he literally would shuck off a block in the middle. His ability to accelerate, even after he's been blocked, to get to the quarterback like he did in his sack to Daniel Jones the other night. That's impeccable. It's not natural. The guy is a lion on the hunt. He really is.
Yeah, he's fun to watch to get after people. I mean, those guys and Garrett are big. They're defensive ends. You know what I mean? JJ Watt, not JJ, but TJ.
Okay.
You know they're your traditional guy, but he's like a running back out there tackling the quarterback.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive. So, give me a prediction for Jets Cowboys this weekend.
Well, the question is, do you think that the Jets can score 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys? Two touchdowns. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Do I
Mhm.
think the Jets could get 2 touchdowns and a field goal against the Cowboys defense? That's asking a lot, I think, against that defense with that offense with Zach Wilson. If Aaron Rodgers is in the game, it's a different
Yeah,
ball game,
that's a different ball
obviously.
game.
But it's
Right.
Zach Wilson, and he's shown us who he is. He showed us who he was last week. Again, short of Garrett Wilson's incredible touchdown catch, they don't get the touchdown. They don't tie the game. They don't win. You know, everything had to fall right for them to win that game, including Josh
Mhm.
Allen playing like a buffoon.
And
And
because Mr. Wilson is not going to see the ball.
they're gonna be all over him with Diggs and
Right.
Gilmore. So
Yeah.
give me a score prediction for the game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
All right. It's going to be 24-6.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Cowboys.
24-6
24-6.
Cowboys. Yeah, I'll go 27-7 just to
Mhm.
give them a
yeah.
a late touchdown. 27-7. Cowboys is my prediction. And then I think is generous to the Jets. I know again, WFAN is here saying, we believe in Zach. We still some of these guys out here saying we're still a playoff team with Zach Wilson. Like,
Because you gotta understand something coming to this game. The Cowboys offense has to play better, but that defense, Micah's going to turn around and going, those Jets, they got good defense. We're going to have to show them we're better.
yeah,
And they know they can't come out here and give up 17 points after what they did to the Giants. They don't want that. There's no way.
right.
I mean, offensively, I'm not talking about a pick six in a fumble recovery. I'm not talking about that stuff.
Right. Well, here's the thing. People are talking about Zach Wilson like, oh, it just has to be Trent Dilfer with the Ravens. First of all, Trent Dilfer was already a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback in his career, in his prime, and he was a veteran who knew how to quarterback. Zach Wilson, quite clearly neither.
Yeah.
Not a veteran, second-year player, and he has not been a Pro Bowl caliber player. He has stunk when he played. Not to mention, the Ravens had Priest, Holmes, and Jamal Lewis as their running backs on that team. It wasn't a Jonathan Ogden up at the line.
Ray Lewis said that the Trent Dilfer was their leader.
Correct.
He
Correct.
said it. He said he was our leader. From Ray Lewis?
Yeah, I don't think that's Zach Wilson. I don't think that's Zach Wilson. Okay, so you're on record 24-6. I'll say 27-10. And I think the Cowboys win and move to 2-0. They're 1-0 now. It's a great start to the season. It'd be nice to move to 2-0. Let's move finally to power rankings. Cowboys have done very well for themselves, obviously, after winning 40-0. A couple of the teams above them have lost. What's your opinion? Where are the Cowboys right now in your power rankings, 1 through 32? And who's above them?
Well, the key to that the Steelers got swamped by the 49ers in their ballpark. And then we beat our rivals in their ballpark. So I'm going to put us number one and the 49ers number two.
Okay. That's fair. I'd probably go 49ers 1, Cowboys 2, because I probably had the 49ers starting higher.
I'm not putting the 49ers 1.
Okay, then you're not. So I think Eagles are
because of the rival.
Yeah, I get that. And they snuffed them. I think it's harder to beat a non-divisional team that bad than a divisional team because divisional team and non-divisional. It's harder to beat someone in a division because you see them year after year.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys do get bonus points for that. I think for me, the 49ers started a little higher, and they played such a great game. It's tough for me to knock them off that top spot. I think the Eagles are in for a rude awakening, what life is like without their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator. The defense was not terribly great. The front four is very good. The linebackers and safeties. You say what you want about Jonathan Gannon losing the game for them, the Super Bowl for them because they didn't play well. Well, he got that Cardinals defense to play really tough against the Commanders. And then Shane Steichen has shown that he can craft a game for Anthony Richardson and Indy to play very well as well. So here's the thing. Eagles struggle with a team they should have beat handily. And if it wasn't for, a turnover here or there, they might not have won.
Yeah, their offense didn't score.
And if the the wide receiver gets his toes in,
a touchdown,
it's maybe a different game and they lose. Now they won, don't get me wrong, but it's a team that I think the Cowboys will handily beat. And I think that the Eagles, if they're playing like they were last year, would have handily beat, but they're not. And it's because those coordinators are not in. And these new coordinators, it's not just the players that have to get used to the coordinators have to get used to the players as well. So I'll put the Cowboys at 2. I'll put San Fran at 1. Let's put it this way. Cowboys are in a good spot. It's been a great start. Liz, you literally could not have dialed up a better game one for this team than a 40-0 victory. It's good to beat Dallas. It's good to beat the Giants. You certainly don't wish for injuries, especially guys, because we've been in that position as Cowboys fans where Dak goes down earlier in the year and your season's cooked.
Everybody has. Every organization has.
It's sickening, right? Happened to Brady game 1, right? Marino.
How about Jason? Remember years ago, Jason Sehorn returning the kickoff and tears his Achilles.
Listen, we have 2 minutes left. You want to shout out anyone on this episode?
Well, unfortunately, Daryl Squires, do you remember brother Daryl Squires
Mhm.
passed away? Me and mommy are upset with that. We're brokenhearted about it. We've known he was such a kind gentleman, loved the Lord. So we're a little down. We're gonna pay our respects come Saturday. So we're a little upset with it. You know what I mean? We're upset with it. It's somebody that we knew and we had relationship with and friendship with, and we share the same love for the Lord. So we keep their family in prayer.
Yeah, absolutely. And in our family, we lost our cousin Kitty this week, so
Yeah,
this
and
goes out to
Kitty,
her
yes.
too. We love her, and she's in heaven now, just like Daryl. So, we love them very much. We're blessed, and we know we get to see him again. So that's it. That goes out to them. Uh, what a way to end. But we're on to another Cowboys week this week, and we'll be ready for some football come Friday at 4:20, Sunday at 4:25. Am I right?
That's right. And in the church fantasy, I'm 1-0, Jack. Remember that. I'm gonna regroup. I'm regroup. I gotta wait for my stuff. And how about the tight end for the Eagles? How about catching a pass?
Oh, listen, this is another Cowboys and Coffee podcast. We're glad you guys checked
Catching a
it out.
pass.
Find us on YouTube. Find us on Spotify. Find us under the Designated Report banner on Twitter. You can see us anywhere. Cowboys and Coffee. Don't forget to get your coffee in. We're good to go. D, have a great night. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you. Give my daughter-in-law a hug and kiss the little fella too. Love you, buddy.
Love you. Bye.